Hey, Facebook, it's your girl, Pep Talk with Tay. Happy Women Crush Wednesday. You know what we're doing all month long. I am honoring every Wednesday amazing Black women who rock. And so, tonight like no other. Last week, shout out Chef Ty. She was on here for the Facebook Live, but tonight, we got my girl, the Therapeutic Junkie herself. Deanne Davis is going to be joining me in just a few. And we're going to have a pep talk conversation around this topic of mental health. I'm excited. So come on in the room. Make sure that you check in and let us know that you are here. Check in, say that you're here. Say, Shantae, I'm here. I'm here. Check in the comments. And if you're catching it in the replay, make sure that you hashtag and let us know that you caught the replay. So she's going to be on here with us in just a few minutes. How has your Wednesday or how has your week really been going? I don't know about y'all, but it's been a good week. But it's been long. It's been a long week. February is coming to an end, so it's been a pretty long week. So remember, if you're coming in, make sure that you check in the bottom. Let us know that you're here. Tonight is going to be interactive. So tonight, once we chop it up a little bit, we're going to open it up for some questions and comments that you all may have regarding our topic tonight around mental health. And let's have a talk. Let's have a talk, because mental health and just having conversations about that are healthy. Because if you saw my post earlier today, transparent moment, it was a rough day today. In my corporate life today, they tried it. They tried it today. My corporate life, my personal life today, it tried it. So sometimes you can't have it all together, but that's when you just have to check yourself, give your own self a little pep talk, and discuss. So, the Therapeutic Junkie is on. Let me go ahead and bring her on. Bring her on camera. All right, D, let's see. Yes, it is so real, Darnell. Yes. And even though we're talking about for women this month, we can definitely, men can do this too. So D, I don't know what's going on. It won't let me bring you on the camera. D, you got to click on it and say that you want to join. So click on it and say that you want to join the live. So hey y'all, we're talking about mental health today with the Therapeutic Junkie. So make sure you check on in, tag some friends, share it to your page, do what you need to do, because I think this is definitely going to be a good conversation. So D, click on that you wish to join live. If that's what you got to do. Click on it to say that you want to come in and be live. So then that way I can bring you on. Okay, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. I don't know why I did it different this time, but it's all good. It's all good. I hit approve. Okay, there it comes. Dee's coming on, the Therapeutic Junkie. She's about to be on here. That's giving y'all some time to go get something to drink, tell a friend, tell a neighbor. Send a text message so that they can join us. So D, I think you it says I'm adding you, D. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Y'all know I be being transparent, so y'all know I'm still learning all this stuff that's going on. So I'm imperfectly perfect. So I mean, it is what it is. What up, Nopi? Happy belated birthday, boo. Happy belated birthday to you, Nopi. One of the realest people I know in the entire universe. So Nopi, I love you. I hope that you are doing good. Yes, we did it. So come on in the room. If you are here, make sure that you are checking in. We're going to get these numbers up because this is going to be a good conversation tonight, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it's going to be a phenomenal conversation. Look at the Therapeutic Junkie. Ain't she cute, y'all? She cute. Shout out that hair, honey. So people just don't know. Yes, Nopi, I love you, boo. I love you. I've been worried about you. I ain't gonna say I've been worried about you, Nopi. I've been praying for you because I know healing, because you too amazing for anything to happen. So Nopi, I love you. And if people don't know Nopi, they need to. Everybody need a Nopi in their life because she is phenomenal and I just love her. So, all right, Therapeutic Junkie, you on.
Can you see me, Terry? This is I would never do it.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. I will never judge another versa. You hear me? This is pressure right here, bringing all the. They could be
No
don't be
pressure.
more than 30 minutes late, but this is a lot to work with.
No. This is great. This is great. And so if y'all know anything about me, I'm all about, hey, Fit Girl Closet, I'm all about bringing people outside of their box and stepping into greatness. And so my sis is what I like to call her, D, the Therapeutic Junkie, has agreed to join us live tonight to have an amazing Women Crush Wednesday conversation around mental health and all that kind of good stuff. And so as we get ready to start, D, tell the people, who is the Therapeutic Junkie? Who are you? Because some people may know you by face. So let me share this real quick before we even get started, right?
Lord, I'm
So
scared.
she already
What you
knows what
about
I'm
to
getting ready to
share?
say. Like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. But
We're also live on IG right now.
you said what? You're on IG.
We are also live on IG right now.
Hey, IG. Hey, y'all. Hey. So a lot of people don't know. Well, they might know. So I know people from all over. So if you are watching this and you're from the Midwest, you're from down south or whatnot, and you're saying to yourself, okay, who is the Therapeutic Junkie? I'm going to introduce who she is in a second. But if you're from the 804 Richmond, Virginia, this space is probably very familiar to you because D, the way I know D, is that we have had club life days. So some people go to the club just to go. But D and I was about getting our bags at the club. And so D can make a mean alcoholic beverage, honey. She can
the
make
old D.
the
That
old
was the old, that was the 04 to 2009 D.
But I feel like it's still in you. I feel like if I was at home right now, you could probably make me a good adult beverage. Hey, Roz, I'm sure that you could do it. But anyway, that's how I know D, because in our club days, when we were out there working in the club, in the club, is where I met D, and she's always kept it 100. I admire her for her hustle. She's always been about her business. And so I've grown to love her. She's done some amazing things in her life. Although she is the Therapeutic Junkie, she is a phenomenal mother first. And shout out Cam, who will be 10 years old this Saturday.
On Saturday.
So I've known you for 10 years. So it's been, you was pregnant before you,
before
so
I was pregnant.
Yeah, so it's been before you were pregnant. So I knew her pre-mommy days, and as a mommy now, she's absolutely phenomenal. So I'm gonna give you your roses while you're here in front of everybody to let you know that you are a phenomenal woman, phenomenal mother, and you're just a phenomenal person altogether. So I'm gonna shut up. You tell the people, who is the Therapeutic Junkie? Tell them who you are, D.
So my name is Deanne Davis. Well, Deanne Horn Davis, if you have to look me up. And I am the Therapeutic Junkie. I am a LPC resident who is preparing to test to become a LPC. I am also a certified substance abuse counselor. That's why you don't see me in the clubs anymore.
You had to get that out. You have to get that out. But you be counseling somebody up in the club.
Huh?
I said, before you be counseling somebody up in the club.
Right. I am also a single mother. I'm a football mom. Shout out to the Easton Tigers or the Dory Park Gators for this springtime. And I am a caregiver for my mother. And I'm a friend. I'm everything. No, I'm just joking.
You are. She's being modest.
I have so many roles I don't even know.
She wears those hats, honey. So back it up, D. Tell people, because some people may not know. So when you say you are studying, explain to the people what those letters and what all of that means. Because some people just don't know if they're not familiar with the mental health or what that's all about.
Okay, so let's start with, I've been in the field since 2007. So I've been in the mental health field since 2007. And I currently work under Dr. Lakeisha Height. Shout out to Black Girl Magic, Dr. Lakeisha Height. She is a LPC in Richmond who owns her own mental health company, and she also owns an outpatient and a substance abuse therapy company. So I received my supervision under her, And so what residency is that being that Dr. Height is licensed, she had agreed to train me and give me the hours, just like a doctor, a resident that's a doctor. So I trained under her. I think we have to do like 23,000 hours or something like that in the field, and out on top of receiving a master's degree. So I graduated from South University in 2017 with a master's in clinical mental health.
So pause right
And
there, because she always tries to rush over that. And so, see, before you go any further, my sis, my girl, has a master's degree. So she got paper that can't nobody take that paper away from her. And so when we talk a little bit later as we go into it, her degree is for everybody who has ever been told that they couldn't do something, had obstacles against them, because, honey, she hustled for that degree. And so I always get emotional when I think about that, because I just think of your face and just how hard you struggled, and you meant you was not going to give up until you got that. And so
I wanted
shout
to
her
give
out
up
for her master's, because that's a big deal. And she'll be a doctor and all that stuff, and then we'll be celebrating all of that too.
I'm not going to be a doctor. Thank you, though.
Okay. See, she be playing herself down. I'm not fooling with her tonight. I'm not.
I'm not doing that.
Okay, go ahead.
But anyway, so I started my residency under Dr. Lakeisha Height. There also are a slew of LPCs in the area that are also behind my growth and development, and I definitely want to take some time to shout out Stephanie Linden, who is one of my best friends, who's also an LPC, who also is a South graduate. I also want to shout out Taisha Powell, who is an LPC in Richmond, all Black Girl Magic in Richmond, who also is a South graduate. And I cannot forget my first Uber driver ever in life is Nikki Saul, who is also an LPC. That is not her name now. But I always call her married name wrong, so I don't want to do that to her. However, Nikki has been in my life since we were Gertie girls back at St. Gertrude's, and she used to pick me up and drive me to school every day for, I'm sure, a small fee from my mother. And she is also an LPC in Richmond. All of them are CSACs, and I can go in their DMs or call them at any given time, and they answer me. I also do want to definitely shout out Dr. Atasha Christian, who is also a South graduate, who, yes, I met her later on, but she still has the best. She provides the best example for this field for me. So yes, so that's what I do. So I currently work in a community mental health agency, and I am the program director for the arts program, which is the substance abuse program. I do the training for my company. I started out as a case manager in the field, going into homes in the communities, doing mental health and in-home. Well, I started out doing TDT way back when, in Churchill and in Petersburg, in different school systems. That TDT is therapeutic day treatment, and it's in the school systems. Okay, so that's where I started. So to now I am a clinical supervisor at supportive interventions. So that is what I do during the day. I also have done outpatient. I run substance abuse groups 3 times a week. Well, I mean, at this point, we're doing 6 times a week. Stephanie's here in the background. So we do them 6 times a week. So my residency means that I had to study under a LPC. And Dr. Height had to sign for me that she was going to be responsible for me while I was in the field working. So I can currently do outpatient, but I am under her supervision.
Cool. So basically what that means, and so for those of you all that are watching, because we definitely want to chime in, Dee is not technically, she has not received her full certification as of yet. But
yes, I'm not licensed. Yes.
She's not licensed.
Yes.
She's not licensed yet. Yeah, it's coming, and we're going to celebrate that when it happens. We're going to celebrate that when it happens. But she is an expert in the mental health field. And so I definitely wanted to bring you on tonight, because I think that as we celebrate women on this Women Crush Wednesday, and especially honor Black women, mental health is something that I think right now we're talking more about it, and it's more conversational, but I still think there's some room for us to get more knowledge, to get more comfortable speaking about it. and all that kind of good stuff. So that is why Niecy's on. We just talked about
Niecy. We were just talking about you.
Niecy, yes, Niecy. For all of you all that may not know Niecy, we D and I were just talking about her and how this month she has done a phenomenal job on her page spotlighting Black excellence. And to me, and I tell Niecy this all the time, she is Black excellence and all.
She didn't spotlight herself.
Yes,
she did not spotlight herself.
Yes.
So Niecy, what I told Tay was we were going to shout you out, baby girl, and we were going to talk about how wonderful you are. So before we get started, we're going to shout Niecy out. So Niecy is a local realtor in Richmond, and she is also a tax preparer. She does my taxes. She has been a realtor of many of my close friends and co-workers. Niecy is thebomb.com. She is a sister soldier. She is a cheerleader for many. She is a motivator for many. She is and she is a breast cancer survivor. She's a survivor, period. Amen.
Yes.
Hey, Niecy.
Yes. Hey, Niecy, we love you. And again,
we love you, Niecy.
We are all about, Pep Talk with Tay is always going to be about giving the sisters their roses while they are living. And so we love you for that, Niecy. And above all else, too, she's just extra fly. Like, Niecy,
super fly. Have you seen the new pictures and posts on?
She been making me step my promotional game up because Niecy ain't playing no games.
I'm about to call a photographer and a makeup artist tomorrow.
Yeah, no, she definitely is not playing no games with this. So if y'all don't know Niecy, she's in the comments. And so if you live in the Richmond area and need your taxes or real estate done, shout her out. Because, you know, sometimes people talk about Black people and say that they don't have their stuff together and they don't like to do business with us. But Niecy is Black excellence at its finest. And
she's a woman of many treasures. So many helpful hints and tips and just knowledge.
And she doesn't hold it, right? She doesn't hold it. Like, she will freely.
Definitely not a crab in the bucket.
That information. Yeah. So she's all about collaboration, which we're gonna talk a little bit later. I know we have some questions about that. But she's definitely a pillar in the community. And I miss her, and I can't wait when I get home. She's gonna be one of my Pep Talk people too. I'm recruiting her too. She just don't know it yet. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. So, all right. So D, you're in the Therapeutic Junkie. How did that evolve? How did that name come up? What happened to make you get to where you are now with the Therapeutic Junkie? How did that evolve?
Therapeutic Junkie was birthed in 2019. So I came out of a situation. Okay.
We all have those. So if you don't know what that is, I think don't y'all be cute, because I think everybody has had a situation.
Right. We're not judging tonight, okay?
No judging.
In December 2018, I ended the situation. And I literally woke up in the middle of the night and I booked a flight to Miami, round trip. Okay. This is like 7 days after Christmas. Okay. And nobody was going with me. I woke up 2:30. I said, oh, the flights are pretty decent. I'm going to book this. I just looked on the calendar. I picked some days. I booked the flight. I had so one thing I will say is that, Shantae, I truly appreciate all of the accolades and the positive reinforcement that you have given me. But when I say I am nothing without my tribe, I am nothing without my tribe. Okay, including yourself, who stayed in my DMs when I was in school and was like, I'm just gonna be a stripper because this is too much. Okay, like I just can't do it. Okay, but so my girls were like, do it. I was like, I'm gonna go to Miami. I'm going by myself. I want to take a trip by myself. Okay.
And so hold these. So before you even go into that, because that brings up a good point, because there's somebody that is watching here tonight on either IG or Facebook that is like, I've always wanted to go, but I ain't gonna go because I don't have anybody to go with me. You can go by yourself. If you can't enjoy your own company, how do you expect somebody else to enjoy your company? So sometimes
it's a teachable moment. Yes.
Because you got to. Okay, go ahead. I'm done. Go ahead.
So yes, I said, I have to do something different. I got to get out of here. So I was kind of overwhelmed. There was a lot going on. It was just professional, everything. It was just a lot. So I booked this trip and I went. And then I didn't book the hotel because at first I booked the flight, but I wasn't going. I was like, y'all, I'm not going to go. Okay, my stomach was hurting, my head was hurting. I was looking at Cam feeling guilty because I needed a break from my kid. My mom didn't understand because my mom was raised in a generation where you don't take breaks, right?
Right.
You keep pushing and you get through. So she didn't get it, and she didn't believe I was going by myself either.
Mm.
So on the beach of Miami's, on the beaches of Miami, Therapeutic Junkie was birthed. It started in a journal.
Mm.
I'm
And
not
I
even
talked
a
about
journaler.
journaling earlier this week. It's so important to journal and clear your thoughts because a lot of things will come out once you pour out your brain onto the canvases of that notebook. So go ahead.
So can I just tell you that I don't even like to journal?
See?
I'm not a journaler. That is not my coping skill. However, I did a brain dump, which is I wrote down all the things that came to my mind within 10 minutes. Okay. Because I was stressed. This was overwhelmed. Okay. I just wrote it all down on doing a devotion in Miami. And I just started looking through it. Okay. One of the things that I started to question on that beach was, how can I be somebody's therapist when I don't even have my own stuff together? Or feel as though I don't have my own stuff together. So then I was like, but wait, I'm a human. So like, just because I'm a professional and I'm a therapist, that doesn't make me not human. That doesn't make the struggles and the feelings that I feel not normal. I used it as like, just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you don't sin. Right? Just because you're a preacher doesn't mean you don't have issues and challenges. Just because you're a police officer doesn't mean you don't break the law. All of those things. And so I said, Then I looked at my circle. All these LPCs around me, they're normal too. So I'm like, okay, so we're not magicians, right? And we don't have immortal powers. So there's some type of there's some type of normalcy that needs to be done. So I decided to make Therapeutic Junkie a brand to make therapy and therapists normal.
Yes.
Okay. Because we didn't grow up in a time, or in the Black community, or in the 80s or the 90s when I was growing up, therapy wasn't something that I've ever heard any of my friends talking about. When my mom took us to family therapy, or when you had to go see a therapist, something was wrong with you.
Exactly. And you bring up a good point, because in the African American community, a lot of times people think, well, you going to a therapist, you're crazy. Something's wrong. Something had happened. And we don't do that. And so I think where we are today, I think that therapy is more, we talk about it more. It's something that I think that everybody can truly benefit from, because there's something. I love your social media page. Follow her if you're not already at the therapy.
On IG, yes.
So follow her on IG. But she says, you heal from the things that you don't talk about, right? So there's a lot of things that like go on that we don't talk about. We were talking about this last night, that a lot of times people will appear on the outside to have it all together, and people have no idea what they're dealing with in the background. And so, yeah, you can have your tribe, you can have all of that, but sometimes there's some deep hurts that require that you get someone who is licensed to understand and talk you through what you are going through. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it at all. If you have a job, a lot of jobs even offer, corporate America, they will offer you counseling sessions that you can go to and things like that. So take advantage
and utilize it.
Yeah, utilize it. It's there. A lot of times your job will stress you out, and they're the reasons why you need some therapy. FYI, my job, I ain't gonna say nothing, but I'm just saying, but you need it. So we deal with all type of different things, and therapy, there is nothing wrong with therapy. And so, Dee, I thank you for your transparency in the fact that Therapeutic Junkie, Dee's a human being, she's human. She's imperfectly perfect, you know what I'm saying? But
and I'm definitely that.
She definitely needs some type of therapy. But being a therapist or a future therapist, she's going to be able to be transparent with her clients. And in the African American community, shout out all of those in the mental health because a lot of times we need to be with people who look like us and have some type of comfort. Because I definitely, when I went to therapy, I had to go to therapy with somebody who looked like me so that they could understand what I was talking about as I was going through. So shout you out for doing that. So on your journey for Therapeutic Junkie, what were some obstacles that you've had to overcome through your journey to where you are today?
Can you hear me? Because it's breaking up. You're frozen on my end.
I am. I can hear you.
Okay. You can, I'm going to keep talking, even though you're frozen on my end and it's breaking up. So I think what the question was is what obstacles did I have along my journey?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. It is. Yep, it is.
Okay. Some of the obstacles that
I lost her. I lost Dee. See, this is the beauty of real life social media. So she's probably gonna rejoin with us. So hold on just a second. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. While we're waiting for her to come back, because she will be back, right? What are some questions that you have around mental health? So again, Dee is not licensed, but she is an expert around mental health. So are there some things that you have questions about? Maybe how to find a therapist in your area, or just any questions that you have in general regarding mental health. So if there's a question that you have, something that you would like to ask, this is a safe space. Feel free to message us in the comments and that stuff. That's fine. See how I just did a commercial break. So go ahead, Dee.
Look at you with the commercial break,
baby. Yes. What you got? So
hold on. We're also, what we didn't do, Tay, is I didn't plug you in on my Instagram. We have quite a few followers, by the way, watching us. Ooh,
okay, on IG, we got some on Facebook too. You know, it's 8 o'clock on the East Coast, 7 o'clock on the Midwest. So people coming in. Ooh.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So what you got for your obstacle?
Yep. The obstacles were as follows. No, I'm just joking. D, all of the above. I had all the obstacles, I felt like. So the biggest obstacle was life. Okay. Mm-hmm. So life was the biggest obstacle. The biggest obstacle was going to school, making the decision to go to school. Okay.
How did that decision come about, D?
That decision came about because I kept getting promised positions at my old job. Okay. And I kept getting passed up for a position that I was more than qualified for because I did not have the degree.
But did you have the experience though? You could do the job.
I did. I had 2 bachelors, but that wasn't enough. Okay, no problem. Mm-hmm. But then I felt like I was being supervised by people that I might have been smarter than. No shame.
Yeah. That's real life right there. That's real life.
And at that point, I also, again, that credit also has to go to Taisha Powell because she saw the defeat in me and she was like, D, you have to go back to school. And I was like, I don't like school. I tried to go back like 3-4 times. I don't want to do it. I just, that ain't for me. I'm a single mom. At the time, Cam was like 3. My mom was living in New York. She was taking care of her mother in Brooklyn. How? What you mean I'm going to go back to school? And that's how I went back to school. So when I first went back to school, I'm going to tell you how the devil was trying to be busy. So apparently my student loans were in default and I didn't even know. Woo! Okay. So I had to go and pay them out of default because I was trying to go in January. And I paid them out of default and then I signed up to go in October. And I honestly think if I had went in January, I wouldn't have finished.
Ooh, okay.
That I needed that, 10 months to really get myself together. Yes. And by then
that's the pep talk right there. So, because you know I got to give up, because the people watching, they chiming in. Go back to school. So don't let the obstacle, a lot of us will not go back to school because of the student loan beast. Whether it's in default, like Dee had that situation, or you don't want to get into debt in that way. but sometimes you got to go opportunity for yourself and your family. Because again, the paper, can't nobody take that away from you. Can't nobody take that paper away from you. And the worst thing as an African-American woman that can happen to you is for you to work hard in corporate America or whatever field you're in and be told no just because of a sheet of paper. Don't allow that to happen to you. So that's my pep talk on that. Get back. Even if it's a class at a time, you're never too old.
I went back 10
to
years
school.
later.
Exactly. You're never too old because once you get it, you got it. You got it.
Right.
You got it.
They're saying the sound is lost.
Uh-oh. Ro, if y'all can hear us, say hear us because I don't know. Can y'all? I don't know.
Yeah, and I think even though I didn't plug you in IG, it sounds like IG can hear us because I see Josh has put some stuff in the comments on IG. He says education is something nobody can take.
That's right. That's right.
He also is a self-graduate. He also is, they can hear us. We can hear. Okay.
So Chef Ty, bro, my cousin. So if you can't hear, get off and jump back on. Okay, so she can hear because my family is on here. Chef Ty is on here. Let's see. And y'all know if y'all got questions or comments,
please put them in.
We want to hear y'all.
IG too. Put your comments in the questions. I mean, in the comments.
We got you.
Put your questions in the comments.
Yes.
So so my biggest obstacle became life. So I had a sick kid several times because I took 3.5 years. It's a 3.5 year program with the intern. 2.5 years with the internship. So Camden got sick. We had family emergencies. We had car breakdowns on the side of the road. I had work. So the mental health field in a community-based organization is very paperwork intense. So there were days when I had papers to write, but then I had quarterlies and ISPs to write also, and notes because I carried a full caseload while going to school because I had a kid. So that Camden went to class. He was the cohort mascot because he went to class with me. I had my cousin Narissa and her sister Nika and my girlfriend Stephanie. People were picking him up at Willow Lawn. I enrolled him in a private school so that I could make sure that he was being nurtured and educated while I studied. So
now that's a good decision right there because again, you had to think through that process. So anybody who's watching that is a single parent or even a parent, even if you're married and you got a partner, whatever, even as a parent, don't allow your dream to be put on hold for that child because you can do both. You can definitely do both. It's just strategically being able to do those things to overcome those obstacles. And so you've overcome obstacles. Life is going to happen, right? So in the midst of life happening, what's a best practice or a tip that you could share with the viewers that worked for you to be able to overcome life in the midst of you pursuing your dream of getting school done? Uh-oh.
You better cry. You better cry it out. Do you hear me?
Because
you better cry and work. You hear me?
Yes.
You better cry and work. You better cry while you type that paper. Okay? And you better figure it out. And to be honest with you, you have to have support. You have to. Like, I would not be here or finished if my cousin wasn't hustling with me and Cam. She has her own child. She's picking him up. She's all of these things. She's doing all of these things to make. Camden grew up without a bedtime. That's why he's falling asleep now, because we were getting home at 10, 11 o'clock. What bedtime? We ate dinner in the backseat of the car. So you have to be versatile. When I would leave the house in the morning, I had like 6 bags, okay? I had a work bag, a school bag, lunch, because I couldn't afford to eat out, okay? Then I had his book bag, his overnight bag, right? His lunch, maybe some snacks from my cousin's house,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever. Don't let it be a project or something else going on.
Yeah.
I also had to be okay with missing different things in life.
Mm-hmm.
So the girl trips didn't happen for me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I did go out, but I didn't have a lot of social life. The bags weren't happening for me because the refund checks were going into Richmond Prep. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that he was secure so I could get this money.
Yeah.
Right. So that is kind of, it takes sacrifice. It takes, so you gotta
cousin Rose, she says it takes a village. Yeah, you're right, Ro. Shout out. That's why I brought this up, because she's in school right now and she is doing the doggone thing and she's almost done. So that pep talk was for you, Ro. No, we finishing, boo. We finishing, and it does take a village to get that done. So that is so true. That is so true with that. So mental health, why did you even pick this? Like, I mean, you could have been anything. You could have been a cover girl. You could have been a hair model, because
I was something else, girl. I was a whole restaurant general manager with my name on the front door. So I was, but yes.
But that's what I said. So one extreme to the next. One extreme to the next. Yes.
Shout out to Daisy B for the bundles and Beauty Beehive, Brittany Burstein for the install. Yes.
And shout out Dee's Dentist, because I'm going to say this on Facebook Live. My friend has got the best smile, the best teeth. She can smile all day long because they're straight, they're perfect, and she always, now don't get her twisted.
Now, let me tell you, now I'm going to throw some shade. So now I'm going to throw some shout out to all those guys that didn't want to talk to me when I had my braces and my glasses, because my mama paid good money for this smile.
But look at you now. Flip it, Dee. Flip it one time. Flip it so they can see. Yes, because they missed out, boo. Hey, Beverly. Hey. Yes,
hey, Beverly. Hey, Nancy. Okay, North Carolina Wesleyan. So I didn't talk about undergrad. So the undergrad family knows a different D. Let's hold up. Let's pause right here. Nancy knows the growth. Okay, so I went to school at North Carolina Wesleyan. I'm a battling bishop. We are a small liberal arts college in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. The reason why I say that is important is because they recruit heavily in the Black communities in Richmond.
Yep.
Okay, and I encourage everybody to at least try it out. HBCU was my dream. It was not for me. My mother said, you have 4 years, and I did it in 4 years with 2 degrees. But yes, Nancy knows D. So to see me here, thank you, Nancy. But I forgot the question. You know my ADHD.
I didn't forgot to. What inspired you to get into mental health? That's what it was. Because you know we both we two people that shouldn't really be doing this, because we will be all day. But it's good. It's good. It's healthy conversation. All right. So how did you get into
what got me into mental health was well, in my yearbook at St. Gertrude's, it said I wanted to be a social worker, but my daddy always told me I was going to be broke if I did that. And I had to marry a rich man.
And he knew his child had expensive taste, so he already knew what kind of child.
He did it though, but he did it. So I think I just always wanted to help people. I've always wanted, I don't know. My mom always told me not to be a nurse. She was a nurse. She was like, don't go into the nursing field. I wanted to be a lawyer. That was too, I don't like to read. So if you know me, you know, if you send me an email, you send me a text message that is too long, I'm not going to read it. Okay. Now I might read small e-text. I don't like to read. So that wasn't for me. I don't know. I just always like to help people. I like to talk to people, but what I can tell you what brought me back to the field. So I was a restaurant manager at Buffalo Wild Wings for years, and then I had CAM. So not only could I not do the hours anymore, but it was a lot of work. And while I did feel fulfilled and I trained my staff well, and you definitely, when you helped people out or you knew somebody was struggling, different things like that. But I just wanted something different.
And so shout out everybody who's out there that wants something different, because again, Dee didn't mean to go into this, But because she wanted something different, she followed something that was going to align with how she's created. She's a person that loves people. She's a person that cares about the betterment of other people. So for those of you all that are out there that maybe you're going to a 9-to-5 right now that you hate, or you feel like you're not going in your purpose, you can change that, because you got to change to want to go in a different direction. And it's going to take work. So I think shout out to people that are being real, that's saying, I changed my life, but I did the work. Because you got to do work in order to change your life. It ain't magical. It just don't just happen. You got to put in work. You do.
I just got tired of, and I got tired of the judgment. So first of all, running a restaurant taught me so much, because one thing about people is people are the same no matter what. So you learn how to deal with people. You can deal with people anywhere you ever go. So one of the best things, Buffalo Wild Wings had a purpose, because even now that I supervise staff in a community mental health world, being an HR nightmare in the restaurant world, because that's what my supervisors call me, an HR nightmare, I learned so much. I was always in trouble. That ain't changed but so much. I'm still always in trouble, but but I did the work, and I loved it, but it just wasn't enough. The burnout and the reward weren't equal. And I missed that world because it was fun. Now that's a fun world to work in, right?
Yeah.
But and it had a lot of perks. But the money was great, but I just didn't, it wasn't what I wanted to do. One day I was in the office at work, and it was Wing Tuesday, and I was over it. And I was counting.
Our favorite, if you go to Buffalo Wild Wings, honey, Tuesday.
It was, I was counting down a deposit, and I was like, I just want to work in a school, and I want to help the kids that everybody pushes to the side. Okay? I didn't even know that was a real thing. That's TDT, Therapeutic Day Treatment. And I know that they're trying to get them out of the school, but they're needed in the school, because I was a kid who did not do well academically in school, okay? And they tried to explain to my mom, she has ADHD, you need to get her tested. And my mom is West Indian, like straight off, like West Indian, and ain't nothing wrong with her. I'm just gonna whoop her, and she gonna do this work. And we go, and she was whooping me, and
shout
I was
out
doing
all the West Indian mamas and the mamas that still believe in whoopings, because whippings, they do, I know it's new age, and people say you don't put your hands on the children. I'm a product of whoopings. My mama gave me some good whoopings, and I feel like I tried her, but I survived it. And I survived because of the whoopings. So shout out to moms that still whipping.
Hamden don't even know. I try to explain to him everything was a whooping when I was a kid, okay? Everything was a whooping, okay? You didn't say yes the right way when they called you, you was getting smacked.
Or you better not say what. Like what? What?
Oh yeah, what is not even in the but
you're not doing it.
Yeah.
You're not doing it. Look at Donna. Hey Donna, Donna laughing. Donna's the mama. Donna, do you give the kids whippings? Do you give them whippings? But did you die? Ty said, but did you die? Absolutely, I did not die. I'm still here today. We did not die from them.
I did not die.
We did not.
Listen, I done been whooped too. Like CPS could have been called. And I told her one day I was gonna call CPS, and I ended up on the steps of the front steps. After she beat me and put me on the step. So
so any of my non-African American friends that are watching, because we're whipping means that you got spankings, right? And so an African American mother will whoop you. And if you ever had the nerve to say, I'm calling the DHS,
the people,
you would get put out, and your parents wouldn't even care, because you ain't going nowhere. So that's what happens in the Black community. Janice Johnson, Mona Johnson is another woman that believes in whipping.
Whipping
she would whip me.
Centers the soul every now and then.
Her mama would whip you, and she ain't even your mama, and dare you to be like, you're not my mama, because you're still gonna get whippings just like you were one of her kids. So so it takes a village. That's
licks, Donna.
Yes,
Donna said the Caribbean parents give licks. You know that's right, Donna. Let me tell you. So I tell Cam that every day. If I was a child, I would have been looked for this. Okay. But yes, so I wanted to help the kids because I remember what it felt like to feel left behind. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then when my mother transitioned me from public school to private school, I was behind. And so I spent my entire private school career, 8th grade to 12th grade, trying to catch up. Because now you have me in this college preparatory school. First of all, let's talk about the fact that Deanne almost didn't graduate. Okay. Oh, okay. We almost didn't graduate high school. I'm not gonna tell you why I couldn't go to my undergrad graduation. That's another story.
But you made it here.
I made it. If my high school teachers were live now, they would be like, "It's no way that this girl is almost a licensed therapist."
So some of them are the people that doubted your greatness, even you. But you're here today. You did it. You did it.
So I think that's why I came into the field and I started doing TDT, and I loved it. Shout out to all the TDT case managers, the QMHPs that go into the communities every single day and do the work. Because without them, those are the foot soldiers. Even during COVID, we are sending them in to some of the hardest communities in our city to work with in some of the most difficult situations, and they do it. And there's stigma against us because we've had so much malice and fraudulent things happening in this field that it has tainted us, but yet they still get dressed every day and they go out there. They are the real heroes. Okay? They are the real heroes. So what I can say is that's why I went into it, and that's why I continue to push. Why I went to get my master's was because I kept getting let down for jobs, but I had a case in Petersburg. Child. Them 2 bachelor's degrees I had wasn't enough. Okay. And this child, the school, they were doing the best they could with what they had. Okay. And I just would sit there some days and I'd be like, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing. And so I went back to school. And when I went back to school and I started learning about the diagnosis, and I started learning about how your past and your childhood are who mold you into who you are today, and how and was reminded that everybody wasn't raised like us, everybody, and I saw how generational curses and genetics just keep going. Then I started to push forward. Then I became a junkie of all things therapeutic, and I started to want to learn and dig and dive more.
So do you bring up a good thing? And I knew somebody. Hey, shout out Keisha out here. Childhood trauma is real. So in regards to childhood, and so you and I kind of talked about this as well earlier, is the fact that some adults right now, you are hateful. You don't let nobody love on you. You are the gossiper. You are the terror downer of all things because of something that happened to you in your childhood. And so again, if you're that person, you know who you are, because you're mad at your own self. And behind closed doors, you don't even like yourself because of something that happened to you in your childhood. Get help.
Toxic people definitely know that they're toxic.
Yes, they do. And so my whole thing is you cannot continue to blame something that happens in your childhood as to where you are today. Get the help you need so that you can let it go.
Yes.
Broken pieces, still color.
Fix it, Jesus.
Yes. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it.
So one of the things that I did an interview, I think last year, the year before last, with the career cheerleader, Cara Presley. I went to school with her. She's local. She's awesome. If you don't follow her. She's awesome. And one of the things that came up was that it's okay to unlearn some of the things that you were taught as a kid, because our parents didn't know that they were teaching us toxic things. For example, my mom was one, you can cry in here, but when you go out there, you better put a smile on your face and you got to be okay. Okay? And that's cool. It's okay. But it's okay not to be okay. And you don't got to keep fronting for everybody else if you don't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
And you don't feel like smiling. You don't have to smile.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so that was one of the things, or what happens in this house stays in this house.
You better
that
know
is the
it.
most
I got the beating of my
you
life.
could have ever taught a child.
Yes, honey, yes.
That was the fastest way to get a whooping, was to repeat something that happened.
I could tell a story, but I ain't gonna put my mama out there. But I said something.
Listen.
I went to I grew up in Iowa. Like, shout out Iowa. Yes, there are Black people in Iowa, and I grew up in Iowa. And so I was the only little dark face sometimes in some of the classrooms. And so I shared with them something that goes on in my house that maybe didn't go on in other people's homes. And so I was like, oh, we do that at our house. We got that. And my mama said, don't you ever tell them people what go on up in this house, because, again, and I think that was the worst beating of my life. Just thinking about it, I had a flashback.
Oh, you relived it. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to trigger you.
It took me back. It's because everybody think my mom is so nice, and I love my mama, and she's a nice lady, but she beat me and she traumatized. I'm 44, and my mama can still put fear in my heart because
that part is that part. But yes, I think that it's important to know that. So so talking to my cousin, you know, we talk. I have a cousin. She's more like a sister to me because I was raised as an only child. And sometimes we talk and we like, how did we make it? Because some of the things that they taught us as kids, it's not real. It's not, it made us, but now that we are professionals and you know, going to therapy and just you know, like, I'm gonna tell you where the thing was for me, and this gonna ruffle some feathers, and I'm okay with that. The R. Kelly series was a prime example of why it's important to tell people what's going on in your house.
Tell it, Dee.
Okay.
Tell it.
And when I watched R. Kelly series, I watched it out of order, but not on purpose. And I watched the comments on social media, and I if you notice, I don't comment too much about my opinion on things on social media for my profession, okay? Because people are very judgmental, and I sometimes struggle with impulse control. I'm gonna put that there, okay? Because I'm half hood, half professional.
I'm so happy she's
very
there,
therapeutic.
To know Dee, she is the epitome of professionalism, but she will take it there. So she's a real one.
I'm always with the, you know what. So, but I didn't comment, but I saw a lot of people judging. But the first thing I noticed when I was watching R. Kelly's series was that he was a victim. I noticed that immediately. And that might be my training in me. But I saw the victim. And then I saw that he actually was a victim. Now, it doesn't make it right, you know, this, that, and third. But I saw the trauma. That I saw the trauma and how it transformed and how it, you know, and that's kind of why I was like, that is one of the things I'm always like, the things that we're taught as kids are not always right. They're not always therapeutic. I remember resenting my mother because she used to tell me kids don't have feelings.
Or don't have a voice. You better not say
we weren't allowed to talk, you know, like we should be seen and not heard. And when something happened in the family, nobody ever asked the kids, are you okay? You know, and that came out in my conversations with my girlfriends. You know, we got this pandemic going on and we're mad that we homeschooling and we're making accommodations and we're working from home and we can't go out and do whatever, and Target is closed and the mall is closed and you can't get your mail on time, and you got your child jumping off the couch, falling apart. But did you look and ask them, how are you okay? You were at school last week with all of your friends, and now you're at home sitting in this chair looking at somebody on a computer screen, and in your eyes, like, electronics are for games. Now we're telling you to focus and concentrate. We got the house phone ringing. If you have a mama like me, she might be cussing in the background by accident. She might be in her robe. The fire alarm is going off because if you open the oven and the fire alarm goes off, the dog is barking, the grandmother, my mom, who is 70, who doesn't understand any of this and was at the time suffering from early stages of dementia that we didn't know, who's it's like, oh, Camden, you're in school? Oh, well, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, or unplugs the internet because she don't know what the plug is in the wall.
Cam ain't got no internet. He done lost connection. The teacher gone. All of that. Yes. So pray for the babies. Yes, Nisi said the kids are hurting. Yes, they are. So take the time right now and shout out the kids because they are meant to be social, right? They want to be together. The kids that are supposed to be graduating. I know a lot of kids last year that didn't get their prom. They didn't get the things that they were looking forward to for their senior year. These kids are hurting. And so, yeah, that's just the kids are the future. So take care of the babies. I'm not a mom physically, but I got a whole bunch of kids, and so y'all know I love the kids. So all right, D, well, we could talk all night because that's what we do. But when you think about mental health, what is something that anybody that is watching, especially our African American women, what do you encourage them to keep in mind about the importance of mental health? What you got? I know that's a loaded question, but you got it.
That is a very loaded question. So, African Americans in managing your mental health, you don't have to be happy, okay? You don't have to be positive, okay? You are allowed to feel hurt, frustrated, mad, angry, defeated, all of the above. But you do have to work through it, okay? You do have to find a safe space and push through it. Because when you don't, especially for those who have little ones or you're, in the community working, it's a domino effect, okay? But you ain't got to be okay. It's okay not to be okay, right? I think that is the biggest thing. Manage your mental health. Do not use therapy as a crisis fixer. So don't use therapy when the marriage is falling apart, okay? Get to therapy before, okay? Don't use therapy when you feel suicidal, right? Go to therapy before you get to that point, right? And remember that all of this stuff is normal. I'm a therapist, I'm a mental health professional. I feel the same feelings that all of you feel. I have been through the same drama that all of you have been through, or know somebody, or have lived it, or my life is not perfect. I'm not perfect. I am not a saint. I'm definitely a saint. Okay. I am not always therapeutic. If you come to my house, if you have seen me raise my child, okay?
Yeah, I don't want to laugh, y'all, because y'all have to know her to understand. She gets them together, though. Her child is very, very well married. She's raising a boy, and he's all boy. So
100,000% boy. I prayed for a boy, and God said, "I got you." But it's okay not to be okay. It is okay to talk about it. Being transparent is, I think one of the biggest things I hate to hear people say is, well, I just don't like everybody in my business. Okay, and that's fair, right? However, your therapist's job is not to be in your business, okay? Right. We are not calling people when you walk out of the office and saying, "Girl." Some people now drop some gems in therapy that, woo child, we're not ready for. Yeah. But we do seek supervision in one another, but we're not messy. So when I say seek supervision, this is what I mean by that. Okay. You come into my therapy office and you have an issue that might be out of my scope of practice, right? It might not be something that I can even deal with because I might have my own trauma towards it, right? It might be something I don't believe in or agree with, but that can't turn you away, right? We got to still work through it. So we seek We call, we get on the phone, we say, I see Dr. Atasha up here. I've called Nikki Shaw, I've called Stephanie Linden, I've talked to Dr. Height, and I've said, so this happened in my therapy session, and this is where I think I need to work with the client, but help
What
me.
are your thoughts?
This
Yeah.
where can we go? I have a client, this is the struggle. Do you have tools? Do you have, because we need a safe place too. And sometimes we need a safe place to unload, because you have to remember that we have our lives have sometimes fallen apart before our eyes, and we still have a job to do. We weren't prepared for the pandemic any more than anybody else. Right? And we still had to work through it, right? You know, so sometimes that is what supervision is, and you know what can be. But I think for me, the biggest thing is not to be ashamed. Go get help. It's okay not to be okay. If you can't get help, you don't know how to get help, ask.
But how would somebody ask? Yeah, that's a good one, D. So I'm at home. I'm thinking to myself, I know I'm watching this. I know that I need some type of help. A help that my girlfriend can't help me. Big Mama can't talk to me about it. I know where I am right now. I need somebody who's licensed to help me. How would I even start that process?
So first of all, you can go to Google. Okay. There is something called Psychology Today, right? Is that Psychology Today? There's also a lot. What I will do, if you go on IG and follow me at Therapeutic Junkie, what I will do, and I cannot promise you that I am going to do it tonight, because my child turns 10 on Saturday, and the birthday party was going to be outside, and it's going to rain. Okay. I have the cake lady in my inbox. She done sent me thousands of messages. I have to fix this. However, I will provide links, because for those who are looking for Black therapists, there are websites. There are a couple of therapists in the comments. I saw Dr. Atasha Jackson on Instagram. I've seen Nikki Shaw. There's therapy for Black girls. Use social media. People pop in my DMs all the time and say, hey, are you providing therapy? And I, you know, and I do, if I can't help them, I refer them. Okay. So you can go to the internet. You said earlier, Shantae, and this was awesome, go to your HR department, okay? EAP is awesome.
Yes.
EAP is a program where your job will pay for you to have a therapist. Where I always suggest people, when they work for corporate America and they have those great benefits, that go through EAP, because that allows you to shop.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. They provide you a list. You go through the list.
And just so people know, your employer doesn't know. So I think sometimes that's a misconception. So people think, well, they're offering it to me and they're going to use it against me later. If you use EAP, they don't know that you went for therapy.
It's just through your insurance.
Yes. So go.
And when you go through EAP, it cuts out having to identify what therapist is going to take your insurance, because they're only going to give you therapists that are credentialed with your HMO. Okay. So, because I too do not have a therapist currently, because number one, I haven't called my EAP. But I can't get people to call me back, number two, to even identify if they take my insurance or if they take insurance. Because there are a lot of therapists that don't take insurance, and everybody thinks that therapy is expensive. As professionals, we have to buy our code of ethics. Okay, some therapists going to be real mad at me right now. There are some ethics that say we have to provide some type of sliding fee scale, or we have to do a certain amount of pro bono work. All of those things. Hold on. IG is asking, what does EAP stand for? EAP stands for Employee Assistance Program. Okay. So there is help out there. Now with the virtual world and virtual telehealth, therapy is accessible to, and if you couldn't get there because of childcare, you now have a reason to get there. Let me give you this disclaimer, because I'm in a Black therapist group on Facebook. Even though therapy is virtual, if that therapist is not licensed in your state, they still cannot provide you with telehealth therapy there are different things. So they've done some things with COVID, okay? Yeah. But you need to, when you can't get a therapist in New York if they not, and you live in Virginia, if they're not licensed in Virginia per se. So you need to, and I don't know the ins and outs of that, but you need to know that, okay? I know, like for me, when you come to me, it's a self-pay because I'm not credentialed with insurances, so I can't bill your insurance. Right. So that's a different conversation. And be open, also, when you're going to look for therapy, be open to talk to residents. Be open to take interns, especially if you don't have the money and your insurance doesn't cover it.
But pause for just a second. But what she didn't say was, because I have to give this disclaimer, and I hope this doesn't offend anybody. If your friend is a licensed, or if your friend has a business, that does not mean that you get free therapy from your friend.
Tell them that.
You've got to support one another. And time out in 2021, no time for unsupported friends. And to support my friend, I know that if I call her and I need some guidance, I can't be getting them services for free. I got to cash at my sis to be like, sis, I need a session. Let me go ahead and drop the jingle in your inbox. And I'm saying that jokingly, but whether it's a business, whether you are selling real estate, Niecy ain't doing nobody's taxes for free. You okay?
No.
Pay her worth. If you sell t-shirts
and don't ask for a discount.
Yes, or a discount. Pay your friends. Because you're not going to
and refer them.
No,
if you can't afford to pay them, when people ask you, refer them. Refer them to other people.
And even if you can't afford them and you don't use the services, refer your friends anyway. Because
yes, that's what I'm.
Yes. If you're not shouting somebody else out. So that's my pep talk. It gets on my nerves. It just bothers me. Support people you know. Yes. Hey, Tisha.
Tag them on Facebook. Yes. There's so many ways to build each other up. Like, there's so many ways. There's so many ways. Build your portfolio, you know, and just know that they, at the end of the day, there's a family behind reliable income tax. Okay.
Yes.
There's
Donna got the eyebrow. I'm trying to get my brows done. There's people that is out here.
Niecy has 4 girls. All of them have college educations. That's not free.
Yeah. They still got things to pay for. The Virginia Power, your light company don't go off of
all that.
The girl, I was just helping my girlfriend out. It don't run like that. And so again, big up other people. It takes nothing away from you to shout out somebody else that you know. Even if you don't plan to support them, like you said, D, forward their information, because somebody else in your circle who doesn't know them can be connected. And that's all.
I got one better, Tay. I got one better. And if you can't support them because of whatever reason, share your knowledge. Share your knowledge.
But share do something with the knowledge, though. We talked about that last night. We had a long conversation. Stop.
Yeah, don't let everybody pull it out the mud. Yeah. Like, don't let everybody pull it. The object is to get it out the mud and prevent others from we're building. So if you know and you have worth and you have knowledge, I would be nowhere if Dr. Hype didn't share her knowledge with me, right? Yeah. I would be nowhere if Stephanie didn't answer my phone calls. This is my girlfriend, and we literally have therapeutic conversation. The conversation the other day was, do people actually reach self-actualization? Which ended up into an investigation of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, okay? Which then ended up into the way, because now Stephanie and I, we run substance abuse together, right? At supportive interventions. Guess what Stephanie was doing this week in her session? She was teaching clients about self-actualization because we realized that we were teaching self-love backwards. We weren't teaching it backwards, but there was another route to get to self-love when we investigated Maslow's hierarchy of need. Share the knowledge.
Yeah. So, and you gotta get it. You gotta get it. And too, because D, we didn't. I feel another pep talk coming on, and I hope it's coming. Support one another. If you sitting having conversations with your girlfriends, I love all of my circle. I love my tribe. but time out for sitting around talking about things that's not going to get us anywhere further. So like you said, you and your girlfriend, y'all started talking. Read a book. Instead of talking about something else that you saw on social media and talking about somebody else, if that's your circle, check it. Because I'm telling you, me and my girlfriends, we talking about, girl, do you follow this group? Did you read this book? Did you do this? Because it's time, we too old for all of that. And another thing, if you didn't like somebody back in the day, but now you seeing them doing their thing and it's something that could help you, stop being
Show
petty,
them love.
Stop being petty. Show them love. Let that stuff go. Because I bet you it was over some little broke, nappy-headed dude or something. And now don't even one of y'all want him.
That part.
And now that could be the sis that's unlocking something else to your future. So time out for that. Time out. I know it's a lot of people. I ain't for everybody, but I'm for somebody. And at the end of the day, even if I know you ain't for me and you don't rock with me, but you doing something major, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to still shout you out because we ain't got to be the best friends, but I'm not going to knock your hustle because I'm not that person.
It's enough out here for everybody.
Yes.
And then for us business owners, I also have to say this because in my struggle of going to school, right? In my struggle of being a single mother, in my struggle of now accepting the fact that I am now a caregiver for my mother, stop guilting people when they don't support you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Stop guilting people because you don't know how many people they sent your way and the person didn't tell them that they sent them your way.
Exactly.
Or because you tagged them or they posted a picture of you or something like that, somebody started to follow you. Or just because they couldn't show up to your event, now you don't talk to them. You can't burn bridges because you feel like people aren't supporting you. They might can't.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
They truly. That doesn't mean they don't love you. That doesn't mean they're not sending people
that
your
means
way. That
they
doesn't
busy.
mean
they have a life.
On.
Yes.
Yeah, we can't be 5 places at one time.
So okay, it's impossible. Impossible. All right, D, tell the people about this. The last thing, because I know we've been on kind of long. Tell them about the Hey Sis. Tell them about your brunch. Tell them about that because I missed it. So you bring up a good point. So I love Dee, and there's some things that she's had that I haven't been able to be there to support her in person. But again, I would forward the information, share it to other people because I know her worth and I know what she brings to the table. So talk about that event. Talk about what you're thinking about because some of you all may not be in Richmond, Virginia. You may not. And you might have met Dee tonight for the first time and you're thinking to yourself, she's a dope sister. I really want to get to know her some more. Dee, tell them about how they can connect with you, even if they're not in the 804. What could they do?
So, Hey Sis Therapeutic Junkie had to take a break. Okay. I'm not even going. Shantae said it. She was like, I need you. So I see that you took a hiatus and I'm glad to see you back. But there were some things that were going on in the fall and just life was coming at me fast and I had to take a break. Okay. So Hey Sis was one of them. So I had a Hey Sis in July that I had on July the 12th. I had to cancel.
But what is Hey Sis? Because the people don't know. I know what it is.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey Sis is so Hey Sis is inspired by my little 2-year-old cousin who will be 3 next month. Okay. Her name is Zoe. And as a kid growing up, I was like, hey sis. So I don't even know if she knows that my name is Deanne. She calls me sis. Okay. So when I would call my cousin, who is like my soul sister, my safe place on a bad day, from the back seat over Bluetooth, I would hear, hey sis. And it always made me smile. No matter, I could be calling in tears and it just to hear it in a 1-year-old voice, hey sis, it was like, oh, and I'd be like, I don't even need to talk to you no more. I got the medicine that I needed. Okay. Hey Sis was created to be a safe space for women to fellowship, judgment free, no pressure. You don't have to wear your heels. You don't have to have on designer. I am a sneaker queen. I am 38 and I cannot wear heels anymore. Okay. I cannot do it. So it's not about that. It's about coming together and feeling comfortable. So the first Hey Sis was done February of 2020. And we did it at District 5, and it was a brunch. And I think I had like 12 ladies. They got the glasses. Um, and it was also designed for me to be able to reach different women, because my girls, they better support me. No, I'm just joking. They're always going to support me. But I wanted, and my girls, you know, I have pockets of friends, but they all know each other and they all come together because of me. But I didn't want them. I didn't even invite them. And I had some people that were offended because they were like, well, why didn't you invite me? Because I didn't want you to come. I wanted other people that didn't know me.
Right.
And I did have girlfriends that were like, you ain't got to invite me, I'm coming anyway, you know, and they showed up and they RSVP like everybody else. But it was to bring circles of women together. So the first Hey Sis, we had an author. We, first of all, the lady was telling her story, and then we were like, you need to write a book. 3 hours in, oh, I did write a book. Huh? Why you ain't say that in the beginning?
Now that's a whole nother Pep Talk.
The book, but I did.
Businesses, and don't tell nobody what y'all do. You know, that is my pet peeve. Because if I'm with you and I know what you do, I'm gonna big you up. But and people know, they be like, she's about to say something. She's about to tell the people what I do. Because I stay ready with the commercial, and I want all y'all to do the same thing. If you can't big up your own stuff and let people know your elevator speech, what if Dee was about to buy all of her books? And the lady waited to the end, and Dee was up all her money. Right. So we gotta big up ourselves. We got to, because if you don't do it, ain't nobody gonna do it for it. Well, I will if I'm your friend, but I
and I didn't open. So what I do is I try not to open. Well, if you have a business, promote it, because I also don't want people who don't have businesses to feel intimidated.
Right.
Because what I had noticed during the pandemic is everybody's an entrepreneur, and then they forcing everybody to use their stimulus checks to be entrepreneurs. And I'm like, this is very toxic. Why is this fair? This is stress. So it was also.
But just getting an LLC don't make you a business owner. I had to say it. I just had to say it in my heart. I mean, shout y'all out if you got an LLC, but that don't make you a certified entrepreneur.
I'm gonna sip my water.
Listen. I'm sorry. Pray for me. I'm praying on my petty. Go ahead.
It's okay. And so that's when it was created for fun fellowship. It was also created that, so I don't do like pay $20, because what if somebody doesn't have $20? Okay. Right. So so the first one was at District 5. We did one at we did it Friday and we were shut down Monday. And it was at Casa, what is Carlos's restaurant in Cary Street? Mijas. It was Mijas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mijas. It was across from the old Peking on Cary Street. So we did a dinner there, which I got some returning Hey Sis members, and then I had a whole new group of Hey Sis. We did a virtual Hey Sis, which was interesting, and that was interesting. The dynamics were cool, and that was kind of like, we were 30 days into homeschooling, working from home. Everybody just needed a break. Okay. Yeah. And then I did a picnic Hey Sis. That kind of got changed around because of weather. And then from there, life started happening. So July was canceled. I think I was able to get one going in. Nope. July was canceled. And then I had scheduled one for September, and I could not mentally do it. So that was a wash. So my girlfriends and me and my two best friends, because we about to be 40, they keep reminding me we're going to be 40 next year. Okay. Because I definitely was like,
40, I'm telling you, it gets better. And for you, because I know you, when you turn 40, the world better watch out, because you already give it to the people. You really gonna give it to the people when you hit 40.
So let me, and the two people that are co-signing this 40th birthday celebration all year, we gonna break the internet. But we were planning a 40th birthday trip. So we're going to St. Vincent for our 40th birthday, just the three of us. No, y'all are not invited. We're not giving you the dates. I'm not plugging you. This is for me and my two girls. This is what we have it all planned out. So they were like, so when is Hey Sis coming back? And I was like, but I would have to do a virtual. And they were like, we're coming. And I'm like, we on FaceTime now. So Hey Sis is coming back. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know when. But I will bring it back. And I encourage people to participate. So what I want to do in the comments on IG and Facebook is tell me what you want to see. Hey, sis, would you do it in person? Because we can only do 10 people. You know, that's why the picnics were wonderful, because we did it outside.
I say virtual because I'm in St. Louis and I'm too far away. And I keep buying tickets to come to Richmond, and don't nobody come here to St. Louis. So how about this? I say virtual.
You want somebody to come visit you in St. Louis?
Yes, the only person that has come to see me are 2 people. So I keep saying, St. Louis, I know Richmond, y'all got the audacity to be complaining about it being cold, and it's just as cold here as it is there. So St. Louis, we want to hear y'all. Iowa, they want y'all to be here. So Iowa says virtual. So I got some people on virtual.
Well, the verdict is in. It's going to be virtual. Okay. So we will do virtual, and I will have a date for you in March. Okay. We will do one in March. Okay. Because you already done applied the pressure. Okay, Shantae, I now have to set up a business Facebook account. Okay, between you and Nisi tagging my personal pages on Facebook, I have to set up a Facebook business account. Okay. Yeah. I also plan to set up like a private women's group on Facebook. Okay?
You better speak it. You better speak it. It's done because it's on the recording. And if you try to renege, well, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tag you in the post again and be like, if you fast forward to this number, you say it. That's what I'm gonna say because I'm not friend.
I'm releasing new merchandise. I am trying to build my website. So what I need to
Who's a web designer in the comments?
Not even that. If anybody has any high school kids or college kids that need some internship hours, I will take them and we can work together, because I have been working on my website for too long and I'm over it. Okay.
There we go.
So yes, we will do. I will do that. So you have applied the pressure because
you got people in Iowa that said they got people all ages that would benefit from you. Yes, coming to the East Coast meets the Midwest. Come through.
And I love doing speaking events. I have done trainings for the Richmond Police Department. I've done sensitivity trainings for them. I did an interview with Cara Presley, who is great if you need a marketing and promo person. Cara Presley is your girl. Mm-hmm. Yes, so I know that my girlfriend Mia, Shoe House by Mia, is working on another women's expo. I missed the first one because being a football mom comes first. Mm-hmm. However, I will be at the second one. She has already told me it's mandatory. It's not optional. When she dropped off my sweatshirt and my tote bag, that's an example of not understanding that your friends love you, but they can't be there.
Yeah.
Okay, because Mia made sure that I was part of her. And one thing I can say about Mia's tribe, her tribe includes me in everything they do for her, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, but
shout out Tish.
Mia doing another
Tish
conference.
Coleman is on here, and Tish does the credit repair, right, Tish? So go ahead. Yes. So Tish, while you shouting out Mia, because we all love Shoe House by Mia, because I keep a shirt and some shoes and some more in my closet here. But Tish, put out your information too in the comment section, because Tish know I'm always shouting her out.
And Beverly is on here too.
Yes, Beverly
at Mia's wedding. Yes. Beverly has just started a boutique, and it's like a wellness boutique.
Feels good.
With
the bracelets.
I need to get some of the affirmation bracelets to add to my wrist. Yes. Aisha invited me to a personal shopping experience. Let me see. Donna is on here, and I was looking at Donna's microblading because the way I had to add this foundation to this eyebrow that needs to be fixed. I definitely was entertaining the eyebrow situation. Let's see who else we have here.
Fit Girl Closet. Y'all already know Fit Girl Closet. What I got on, you can't see the whole thing. This is vintage Fit Girl Closet, and that's going to come home next weekend, because real friends support friends. And my homegirl is opening up a closet showroom, and I wouldn't be a real friend if I didn't fly to Richmond just for that. So I'm coming.
Oh, you need to send me that information.
Yes, I will post it. I will post it. But
yes,
credit financial. Yes, Tish. Yes, because some folks show need it, child. They need it. They need it. They need it.
Keisha Fisher has a business also.
Y'all better shout our businesses up in here, because I'm telling y'all, I'm trying to come through with some things. And so if you know me, I am a connector of the people, honey. And so you never know who I might know that may need your services. So please make sure you put them in the comments, because we bringing it together.
So Tay,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tay, we also what did we talk about at the beginning? How my niece is gonna be on your March rollout,
so March,
we can't forget the young entrepreneurs, because if you look in the background, this ring light right here was donated to me by my niece London Smyrie, Princess. She has a skincare line, and if you have eczema, this is your girl. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what platform Felicia's on. Hold on one second.
So like she said, I'm doing a spotlight on young entrepreneurs. So I've got a few children already, but if you know a young entrepreneur, we want
London will be in attendance. It's mandatory for her.
We are definitely doing that, because the kids are doing some big things. So Tara Adams is on here, another real estate agent in the 804, my Be Intentional sister, the Excellence Closet. She does things for the community, make sure that kids in schools that don't have toiletries can get those things. So Tara can do that. And again, I gotta say, I love all the places that I have lived, but although people don't think it, Richmond, Virginia is the home of the hustlers, baby. I know so many jokes that's I'm telling you, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere, because we hustle, we support, and we are I know some amazing Black women who rock in the 804 and beyond. I meet new people in St. Louis. I know people in the Midwest, down south. So just big up a Black woman today. You know what I'm saying? Big them up, not just today on Wednesdays, but any day. Big up a Black woman and support her. So D, I love you. It's late. I know Cam got to get that birthday party together. Y'all shout out, right, it's time to eat. Y'all shout out the Therapeutic Junkie. We're going to put her information in the comments so that you can follow her on IG. And as soon as she get that Facebook page up, I'll be the first one to screenshot it so that y'all can start following her too on her Facebook as well. So D, what you got? What you got as your parting words?
I'm gonna put you, first of all, I'm gonna put you on blast.
Oh Jesus, I knew I was trying to go under the radar. Go ahead, D.
Yeah, I see you was trying to. First of all, I applaud you. Let's talk about how you did such a good job not blasting me tonight. I can appreciate it, because
I told you a safe space.
I don't know what Shantae gonna bring up from the bag of tricks to
Never.
the side.
You know I ain't gonna do you like that.
But I need another mask off of it.
It's coming. It's coming. So D, I knew she was gonna try to call me out. So yeah. So I'm all about.
That event was, you had everybody crying. Okay.
D.
That was also another event. I was like, I think I came to Mask Off before I went to Miami, or right when I came back.
You had just come back. You just come back.
Yep, and I took my girlfriend Sandrielle with me. And everybody, Sandrielle didn't even know anybody in it. We were all like with the thug tears in there. But that also helped the birth of Hey Sis, because the energy was so real in there. So first, shout out to you, Tay, because even though you were all the way,
it was a lot.
In St. Louis, I still feel you here in RBA every day. Okay.
All day.
Thank you for thinking about me. Thank you for never letting me give up. Thank you. You load the DMs. You load the messages. Thank you for not being perfect and not judging anybody else for not being perfect. Thank you for allowing me to take the mask off and allowing me to be real. Because if you didn't learn anything from this, what is this? This ain't a podcast.
This platform, yeah, where we was at tonight. This Pep Talk, yeah.
Is that if there's a will, there's a way. Okay? It's okay not to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know your audience and meet people where they are, right? And if it's your Junkie almost was not here now. Because I was like, back when life was coming at me, life came from my neck, right here. Okay? I had girlfriends that were like, where are you? What happened? And I was like, oh, it's COVID. No, it wasn't COVID. I mean, it was. But it was life. It was a lot. And Tay was like, I'll let you have your space. But she came looking for me. She was tagging me. All those tags, and I was supposed to tag a black entrepreneur woman. And I'm like, I hate these stupid posts. But those were the posts that was like, okay, people still miss you. They're paying attention. So thank you. And I shout out to you because even though you bring the sunshine and you bring the light, and even today I was like, I've had a rough day. I haven't eaten dinner. My mom wasn't feeling good today. I don't even know if they ate dinner at home. I was curling my hair. Calling out spelling words. First of all, I don't even know how to spell half the words that Camden has to learn right now, okay? So I went to book because I don't know if he spelled it right or not. I thought it was an A and it's an E. I don't know. So I'm doing all these things, but I had to show up for you because you have always shown up for me, even not me.
Don't have me crying.
And you better not cry.
I'm not. You see, I'm trying to suck it in, D, because you know I'm a crybaby. But
y'all better give Tay a round of applause in the comments, because when she texts me at 11 o'clock at night, I'm like, you want me on the line? Why you want me? Like, I'm not even licensed. Why do you want me here?
Because I know you, and I know the people. And sometimes, if nothing else, always know that you don't have to have it all together to share your story. And yeah, so I know I get to meet people where they are, and I try to pride myself in not being a judgmental person, but I know everybody got a story, and you don't know how your story is going to touch somebody else. So big up, and you inspire me. So like I told you, we didn't have our conversations, and just watching you.
We should have cried yesterday, not today.
We was too busy laughing last night. Yes, we was on the phone for a whole too long. Aisha, Tish. That's another
one.
Tish. Hey, Tish. That's another. Me and Tish.
Now that girl got a story. She's a straight go-getter.
Yes. No, Tish coming. She coming. And and my Janice is on here too. So my Jacoby. So again, I love y'all. Thank you, D, for that. I appreciate y'all. Keep watching the Women Crush Wednesday. Although we were honoring women for Black History Month, I'm going to keep it going because next month is Women's History Month. And so I know brown, yellow, I know all different nationalities. And so we're going to big them up all month long. And I encourage you to do the same. On Wednesdays, let's shout out all the women that are doing phenomenal things all the time. So then that way we can share the love. So D, thank you very much. I'll see you.
No problem, baby.
I'll see you next week when I touch down in the 804 for sure.
I have it.
And I can't wait to see you. So this is Pep Talk with Tay. I hope you enjoyed tonight's message. Just some girl talk, some real honest conversations. And if you need D, hit her up in the Therapeutic Junkie on IG, inbox her, big her up, and y'all have a good night. So D, get you something to eat, hug Cam for me, and thank you for being my guest tonight. I appreciate you. Bye, y'all.
No problem.
All right. Peace
out. I'm coming to St. Louis. You done started something now. We coming.
Now, when we do that, we're not going to go live because there's some stuff we don't need everybody. Okay. All right. Bye, y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.